is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Honorary Cuban on a Friday, Omar Kelly. Yeah, baby. How you doing, Omar? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You all right? You feeling good? Family, everybody recovered already? Is the COVID out of the home already?
Yeah, I'm having a bout right now with a cold, but it's not COVID. I took a test yesterday, so it's not COVID, thank God. But
Okay.
I would hate to catch COVID after just catching COVID.
So you just have lingering effects, is what you're saying?
No, it wasn't even lingering effects. I was perfectly healthy, and then all of a sudden I caught a cold yesterday. Had like 102-degree fever.
Right. Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay. But you're all right now? You're no fever now?
Nah, I'm probably still a little bit feverish.
Okay.
Muscle aches.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So let me ask you: did you watch the interview on the fish tank with your boy Tua?
I saw some of it. I didn't finish it. It kind of bored me.
Did you? There were a couple of nuggets in that thing. And by the way, I did watch the whole thing of I Am Athlete. We'll get into that in a little bit. You also had a couple of nuggets on that one too that I liked. But first of all, I didn't realize this until they brought it up with Tua yesterday. He's had 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years.
Yeah. I don't.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's pretty awesome. Okay, that's pretty awesome because you think about it. I talked about this before you came on. He's won a national championship during that time. He wins more than he loses in the NFL. He throws more touchdowns than interceptions in the NFL. And yet it's been kind of disastrous for him that he has to learn a new system and a new what's that called, terminology every year, although he must be really good at it now. The other thing I learned, and why he might be so good at this, Omar, he plays 4 instruments: piano, guitar, ukulele, and bass, all self-taught. None of it on notes. He plays all by ear. So
I'm so fascinated by that.
Well, that's why he can learn 6 offenses in 6 years, dude.
I'm fascinated by his musical ability.
Not 6 offenses in 6 years. Your offense, only the musical part.
No,
you can't put both together, right?
That's the nature of their position. There's so many guys who played in 6 different offenses. I've heard that story about a dozen times already in terms of guys who've had to learn new offenses. I forget which one was it. It might have been Tannehill. But
we're actually talking about people that actually had success while doing it. Let's not go apples and oranges now, okay? Let's not compare an elephant to a mosquito. You know what I'm saying?
Has he really had success though?
It's called the national championship.
No, I'm talking about as an NFL quarterback.
Well, when you win more than you lose, when you have winning seasons and not losing seasons, doesn't sound like a failure to me, right? I don't call him a failure. I don't think he's a failure. I think everything around him has been a failure, but considering the crap around him, I think he's done a pretty damn good job overall. I mean, think about it, dude. He played behind the worst line, and he was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. That's adjusting to chaos.
He's very good at that.
Yeah, well, the other guy that we had here led the league in sacks with a great line and running game. Can you imagine if he was here? So, you know what I'm saying?
He only had a running game for 1 season. No.
Donta Foreman is better than anything the Miami Dolphins have had here.
I'm talking about when he was here. No, I'm
talking about Tannehill. He led the league in sacks last year with 2 running backs and an offensive line. Because when Derrick Henry went down, Foreman played in and played He was like a Henry Jr. He wasn't as Derrick Henry, but he was pretty damn good.
I thought Burrow led the league in sacks last year.
No, actually, I think Tannehill led the league in sacks last year. If not, he's number 2. Whatever. It's 1 or 2, whatever, something like that. But yeah. And this kid was but bottom line, forget about that. My point is he has overcome a lot of shit while he's here, and I'm impressed with that. And 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years, Omar. Dude,
that has nothing to do with what he's going through now.
That's a hurdle that you have to overcome. A lot of people don't do that and succeed.
It's a common story for quarterbacks.
I'm sorry. Who has had 6 offensive coordinators from college to the beginning of his NFL career, and they have a national title and a winning record in the NFL? Please explain that one to me. How many of those exist?
I just don't think it's this major accomplishment that you think it is. It's very common. It's very common.
Yeah, you can't name one person.
No, I mean, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts played in Alabama in the same system.
Won a national championship. Played at Oklahoma. Went to the Eagles. I'm sure he's had 6 offensive coordinators.
No, he hasn't.
And he went to the playoffs.
He's played in the same offense the last 2 years, right?
No,
hasn't it been the same?
Coach got fired.
Oh no, that's right. It's a new coach this past year. That's right. He did have a new coach this year.
So last year, it's. I mean, ultimately, to me, I don't really care anything about that, because that's just the nature of football these days, where you're changing your offensive coordinator, you're changing your play caller every.
Over the years, I've always heard it as an excuse for the players that struggled. That was the excuse for Ryan.
I've never let it be used as an excuse.
It was the excuse for Ryan. It was the excuse for Ryan here.
Not for me.
Well, many of people used it for other guys too, not just Ryan. Other guys too. They've always used that excuse.
I've never looked at it as, once you get to a certain point as a professional, it's all the same thing. It's just called stuff. It's called different things. So I remember listening to Ryan Fitzpatrick explain how he processes offenses. He processes it basically this, like learning a new language. It's the same thing that he's run. It's just called different things.
Right.
And you just have to translate into your mind what that used to be called is now this.
Right. And
it's the same thing with Tua. I'm 6 offensive coordinators. I don't care. Right. I really don't care. Yeah. I think
one guy, Reggie D, goes, "Hey, Jalen Hurts made the playoffs." yeah. Well, the Dolphins easily make the playoffs in that division too, my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta teach Reggie D a little bit of football there, and maybe anybody else out there, because if you think the NFC East is better than the AFC East, I can't help you, bro. You know what I mean? I can't help you at all. So the Dolphins make the playoffs if they're in the NFC East. The last,
I don't think the Dolphins got that Dallas smoke. I disagree with you. I don't think this is.
I must have missed it, bro. What has Dallas ever accomplished?
Nothing, but they're better team.
You're going back to the night. They're not a better team.
No.
They don't perform anywhere, dude. They're not a better team. You
got to make the playoffs. You got to make the playoffs before you could actually pretend like you're in a league with teams that actually are good.
Dude, Washington made the playoffs in that.
Oh well,
it's that division. The Dolphins would beat the Cowboys.
Washington and the Eagles and Dallas. That's what, 3 teams? No.
Dallas is a bunch of choking dogs, dude. You fall in
the playoffs.
It's because it's a crappy division. It's a garbage division, dude. The Cowboys, the Eagles,
the
Redskins, they're all garbage.
It's a garbage division.
They're garbage.
Let me. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Garbage. They're all
AFC East is a garbage division.
What are you talking about, bro? The Bills are way better than anything that they have there. They don't have to.
The Bills, and that's it.
Well, no, the Patriots and the Dolphins are just as good as anybody in the NFC East.
The
In
Patriots are not the Patriots. Come on,
bro,
bro.
the NFC East is garbage. They don't beat anybody.
The AFC East is garbage.
But the AFC East is the one that actually produces teams that go to the AFC Championship games.
Oh
And
my
they
God.
they're actually what you're going to tell me that the last few years that the Patriots and the
Bro,
Bills
stop riding the Patriots' great years, dynasties, and
but
right now the
but that's
AFC East is garbage.
right now. Well, right now the Bills are way better than anything that the NFC East
Yeah,
has.
you're
Bro.
right. You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
so
And that's all the AFC East has to offer.
and all the NFC East has is teams that might be able to compete with
Every team
that
in the NFC East would smoke every team in the AFC East except for the Bills.
You're so full of shit. Your eyes are brown.
Bro.
You're so full of shit. Your eyes are brown.
Washington would pound the shit out of Miami.
I can tell you really don't watch the league, bro. I can
No,
really tell you watch the Dolphins.
Miami is not in Dallas's league.
The Dallas Cowboys do nothing every year, my brother.
In the playoffs.
No, they do nothing.
Playoffs.
They choke every moment that they get, my man. Every single moment that they get, they are choking ass dogs, bro. And they play in a crappy division. That division, there's nobody there. Those teams are good enough to compete with the Dolphins every week. The Dolphins can beat them like they can beat the Dolphins.
Bro,
but
you act like the AFC East is a good division.
It is a good division.
It's the worst division in the AFC.
No, it's not.
What's worse?
The North is pretty bad, right?
Tennessee.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, the North?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is kind of crappy, right? The Browns.
Pittsburgh hasn't had a losing season in a decade.
The Browns, now that they have Deshaun Watson, maybe now they might be able to.
Pittsburgh hasn't had a losing season in a decade, and you want to be disrespectful?
What's Pittsburgh done the last couple of years, bro? Pittsburgh.
It doesn't matter. Have they had a losing season?
You're like you're talking about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
A decade.
No,
a decade.
The last couple of years, Pittsburgh is nothing anymore. They're not much anymore.
Because they had an old-ass quarterback.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And they still don't have a quarterback right now.
I bet you they still have a winning season.
Maybe they get to 500, yeah.
Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
I know, but they're not that good. They're not that anything special. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, neither are the Patriots. People want to pretend like they're elite.
No, they're not elite. They're not elite. They're solid. They're just they're like those teams in the NFC East. They're like 8-9 win teams.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The NFC East has nothing special about it. They're just Jags, just like Miami and New England. They're right in the middle. They're not good, but the Bills make them elite. There's nothing elite in the NFC East at all. At all.
It's all the same thing. It's all. I think Dallas is still the cream of the crop in that division, and they poop it.
There's no cream there. There's no cream there. There's no Rams there. There's nothing there. There's no Rams there.
The Rams just became the Rams.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. But nobody's winning anything in the NFC East right now. In the last couple of years, those teams have been middling teams like the Dolphins. Maybe 8-9 win, 10 win teams. They're not really playoff impactful teams.
It's a lot of teams in that division.
Pittsburgh has fallen into that rut too now. They're not a playoff impactful team anymore.
Oh, well.
Unfortunately, because they don't have the QB anymore.
There were 6 playoff impactful teams in the league?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's not a lot of them, and the Bills happen to be one of them.
Yeah, they are. Bills.
So that's why I tell you that's a better division than the NFC East, because the NFC East doesn't have any big teams. At least the North has Cincinnati. That's definitely an elite team right now that, they got to the pinnacle right now.
Cincinnati, Baltimore. Baltimore's never having a losing season.
Baltimore doesn't do anything with Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, my man.
Oh, my God. Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Hey, Lamar Jackson needs depends in the playoffs because all he does is wet himself in the playoffs, dude.
All right.
There's nothing.
At least he can get there.
Okay, but that's what I'm telling you. That's all they are. That's what they can get because they have a remedial quarterback that can't pass. What can I tell you?
At least they can get to the playoffs. When's the last time Dolphins
get it. I get it. They're good. They're a good enough team to get to the playoffs. But that's about it.
That's the starting point. That's the starting block.
Okay. All right. But I mean, again,
Dolphins can't sniff it.
I know, and the only reason somebody sniffs it in the NFC East is because somebody has to win that division. That's the difference right there. I mean, when the end of the season, how many teams had double-digit wins in the NFC East? Yeah, in the NFC East, how many had double-digit wins?
Probably only Cowboys.
Right.
I mean,
and that's your elite team, the Cowboys.
Cowboys are a good team. People don't put the respect on Jerry Jones that they deserve.
They shouldn't put any respect on Jerry Jones because he does nothing without Jimmy Johnson. He's done nothing, bro. Why should you respect?
Didn't he win a championship without Jimmy Johnson?
No, that was Jimmy Johnson's team that he won.
He still won a championship without Jimmy Johnson, right? You're like stating things that are facts that are actually inaccurate. He won a championship without Jimmy Johnson. Don't say, "Oh, it was Jimmy Johnson's team." It was coached by Barry Switzer. He still won a championship.
That was Jimmy's coaching staff and his entire team, bro.
He never loses like Jerry does.
Once Jerry lost Jimmy's team, which that was Jimmy's team, did he ever build another championship team again? Is the question.
No, but
did he even ever get to a Super Bowl?
Did Jimmy ever build a championship team again?
Oh,
no.
He stopped already. He's not coaching anymore, my man.
Okay, but when you coach for the Dolphins, he never built a championship team.
No, of course not. He did it all wrong here.
It's not as easy as you want to make it seem like it is.
I never made it seem easy. I'm just saying you're making Jerry out to be something he isn't. I'm telling
Jerry does more with draft picks and drafting players than 80% of NFL teams.
Yeah, no, they have drafted very well the last couple.
They draft extremely well. They don't need a first-round pick to find a franchise quarterback.
But they have nothing to show for it. Zero.
What the Dolphins got to show for anything?
I know that, but that's my point. But the Dolphins have a reason for not.
You know what Jerry's got to show for it? Money.
Right, but that's not a Super Bowl, my brother. The discussion was about winning and Super Bowls. Don't change the subject.
You need an elite quarterback to have a Super Bowl.
Well, apparently they don't have an elite franchise because they don't win any Super Bowls. They don't even go to Super Bowls. They don't even come close to sniffing an NFC championship game. Okay? They struggle with the first round of the playoffs, Omar.
It's hard. It's hard to win a playoff game. It's not easy.
I know. That's why he hasn't done anything since he lost Jimmy Johnson's team. After Jimmy Johnson's team faded out, it was over. He was never able to do it again. That's all. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Putting together. I annually do this. The basically top prospects in 3 different ranges for the team select. Player that they would trade up for, because they don't have anything but a 3rd-round pick. A player who's probably going to be there in their 3rd-round range, and then a guy that you could throw him on the pile later on in the draft, the position's needs.
So those 2 7th-rounders are going to get traded. That's what you're saying. Okay.
2 7th-rounders, like
to move up a couple spots. That's probably what's going to happen.
And nobody wants these draft picks, bro. So they're probably going to be giving away a 1st-round draft pick at the end.
Well, actually, what the guys are telling me is that they're all trying to get back in the draft. They're trying to go backwards into the draft. They don't want to go forward. They want to.
Yeah. No, everybody's trying to go backwards into the draft. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you do want to go forward, it's going to be easy. Easier.
Well, I heard nobody wants to go forward. That's the problem. Especially
somebody's going to want to go forward.
The first half of the draft, like people are having trouble. Like you're gonna have to get a lot less than you normally would in order to move down.
That reminds me of the Deion Jordan draft, where you're going to be able to move up at a discounted price.
Yeah, and not get some good.
Yeah.
Get busted.
Hopefully you get something good with it. But yeah.
There he is. Omar Kelly. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. And make sure you subscribe and support Omar and all the great journalists covering our local sports scene. Have a fantastic weekend. Feel better, brother. Get rid of that stuff already and get some Nature B in your system, man. Little 2 golden capsules, man. Trust me.
That's a good point.
NatureB.com. Trust me. Get it. Big O, free shipping. Go.
All right, bro.
Telling you, it's a virus-filled world. Omar needs it. You need it. Everybody needs it. Get those 2 golden capsules. NatureB.com. For over.
This is the